Welcome back, dear students, for today's session on connective tissues. So here, first of all, let me tell you what do we mean by the connective tissues. See here, connective tissues means the tissues which either support the other tissue or it may help in joining of one type of tissue with the other type of tissue, or connective tissues can also help in joining of muscle to bone, or it can also help in joining of bone to bone, right? So let me repeat, the connective tissues either supports other tissue or helps in joining of one type of tissue with the other tissue, all right, or it helps in joining of muscle to bone or bone to bone. So these are all the important aspects which are performed by the connective tissues. Now, under connective tissues we have different types. See, we have areolar tissue, all right. Then we have secondly adipose tissue, followed by adipose tissue. There are so many other tissues as well, like we have reticular tissue, then we have cartilage, all right. To go with cartilage further, we have bone, then ligaments are also connective tissues, all right. Then blood, which is regarded as the fluid connective tissue, as well as the lymph. So these are the connective tissues which we can find in the body, and it is also important for us to understand from which primary germ layer the connective tissues arise. So let me tell you that the connective tissues are mesodermal in origin. So that means it is formed from the middle primary germ layer. We know that from the embryo itself we have the three germ layers, that is ectoderm, endoderm and the mesoderm. So the connective tissues are formed from the middle mesoderm. Now moving ahead, let us understand the location of connective tissues, all right. So here, firstly let me tell you that connective tissue is generally found throughout the body. We can find throughout the body, okay. So in between tissues and organs, either you can find in between the tissues or you can also find between the organs, all right. And let me tell you, dear students, that it forms the sheaths around various organs of the body. Sheath, it's a covering in many organs of our body. So rather location can be throughout the body, dear students. Coming to the structure of these connective tissues, connective tissues are made up of three basic components. The three basic components here are the matrix, all right. Then secondly, it is made up of various types of cells, and connective tissues are also have different types of fibers, like yellow fibers, white fibers and so on, okay. In the structure we can find three basic components, that is the matrix, the cells and the fibers. So understand these introductory aspects, then we actually move into the when we move into the actual topics of the types of connective tissues, we shall discuss there much in detail. So dear students, further let me tell you that the connective tissue has large amount of non-living intercellular, that means between the cells, or intercellular, or you can also say it as extracellular. Alright, ground substance, we call that as matrix. Just I wanted to tell you that what we mean by matrix. So matrix is a non-living intercellular or extracellular, that means outside the cell, the ground substance, it is generally transparent or amorphous in form. Okay, the substance which is present outside the cell, covering the cell, is called as matrix. Okay, the matrix can be either fluid, okay, or it can be jelly like, all right, or even it can be solid. It can also be solid. All right, dear students, fluid, jelly like, or solid. Fluid, now example is blood you can give. For jelly like, say cartilage is the example. For solid, bone is the example. So matrix is of three different forms here. Now, so what we find in the matrix? Okay, what the matrix is made up of? See, it generally has mucopolysaccharides. These are the sugars, complex sugars, alright, which we can find in the matrix, or the complex carbohydrates which we can find in the matrix. And to go with that, even glycoproteins are also present. Alright. See, apart from this, even many different types of protein fibers can also be seen, right? And there are so many different types or various kinds of cells, right? So this is the few, what I can say, the composition aspects about the matrix. Apart from that, matrix permits the diffusion of nutrients, that means exchange of nutrients it helps in. Okay, it helps in exchange of nutrients, gases, and also wastes, all right, to and fro from the cell to the outside, from the outside to the cell. So it helps in exchange. What all it helps in exchange? Either it can be nutrients, gases, or wastes. So all these exchange takes place through a process called diffusion. Alright, the movement of molecules from the higher concentration to their lower concentration. Okay, so here these are few important aspects, general aspects, which you need to consider before moving on to discuss the major types of the connective tissue. Now, next, moving ahead, see, based on, we are discussing here based on composition, like what components are present, or what nutrients, what cells are present, based on composition and organization, how it is organized, in what form. All right, I shall tell you this. Okay, based on organization of extracellular or intercellular matrix. Okay, and also here you can say, okay, rather cell types can be taken as a separate aspect here. So cell types and also the functions of cell types. Based on this, what are the aspects we are considering to classify the connective tissue, dear students? The first is composition, followed by the organization of extracellular or intracellular matrix. That means to say what the intercellular or extracellular matrix is made of. and what are the different types of cells and their functions. Based on these aspects, we can classify the connective tissue into three types. Okay, see, connective tissue can be classified into three types. All right, that is, we have firstly loose connective tissue. All right, then secondly we have dense connective tissue, and then further we have thirdly specialized, all right, connective tissue. All right, let me repeat. The connective tissues are divided on the basis of their composition, organization of extracellular matrix, different types of cell types and their functions into three types. First is loose connective tissue, then dense connective tissue, then specialized connective tissue. Alright, so these are the major three types, and further they are again classified. See, now under loose connective tissue it is classified into two types. That is, the first type is areolar tissue. Alright, and to go with that, the second type is adipose tissue. Alright, so these are the two types of loose connective tissues. Two types of loose connective tissues are areolar tissue and adipose tissue. And under dense connective tissue there are two types, that is dense regular, alright, and secondly we have dense irregular. Alright, fine. So these are two types, that is dense regular and dense irregular are the two types of dense connective tissues. Now under specialized connective tissues we have firstly bone, alright, then cartilage is also included under the specialized connective tissue. To go with that, the other two fluids, blood and lymph, are also included under specialized connective tissue. Okay, so these are the types of connective tissues which we are going to discuss. Let me say, or let me repeat once more. Connective tissues are generally classified into three types: loose connective tissue, dense connective tissue and specialized connective tissue. Loose connective tissue is further divided into areolar tissue and adipose tissue. Dense connective tissue is of two types: dense regular tissues, connective tissues, and dense irregular connective tissues. Under specialized connective tissues we have four types, that is the bone, which is solid, cartilage, jelly like, and blood and lymph, which are in fact the fluids. Alright, fluid connective tissues. Fine. So this is about the types of connective tissues. So let us move with the first type, that is the loose connective tissue. So let me tell you that these tissues are least specialized. Alright, when compared to all the other tissues, alright, it is the least specialized. That means to say it is not so sophisticated as the other tissues. Alright, but still it is very important, integral part of the body. Dear students, no, this type of loose connective tissue has large proportion of cells, or we call that as ground substance. Alright, it is having large amounts of different various types of cells, or the ground substance. Alright, and here the fibers, fibers are generally very high in connective tissues. As I said, these are least specialized, so fibers here are very few. Alright, we don't find much of fibers here. So the two types of the loose connective tissue we already know, that is the first one is areolar loose connective tissue, and the second one we have is adipose loose connective tissue. Okay, so now let us move on with The first one, that is areolar tissue. Areolar tissue. So here see the structure. I'll draw a rough structure here. See, generally these tissues, all right. Now we can find different, here fibers are very few, so let us say we can find fibers. Just a minute. Okay, so we have fibers, okay. Distributed throughout this, okay, matrix, right. That is, these are white fibers, and then we have these fibers which are distributed across, much thinner than the white fibers. We have the yellow fibers, all right. So two types of fibers can be seen, yellow fibers and white fibers. We shall discuss about this. Before that, let me also tell you, there are certain cells, big cells here inside this matrix, called as, we call these cells as the fibroblasts. We have certain cells called as fibroblasts, all right. So the matrix, all right, all this is the matrix where we can find cells, fibers, everything, all right. So this can be just written as matrix, all right. Then, dear students, certain other cells are as well present. Say for example, say we have mast cell, okay, mast cell, all right. And to go with that, even we can find certain cells called as macrophages. So what are the components which we can find here? So two types of fibers, that is white fibers and yellow fibers. Then different in the matrix we can find all this. So different types of cells are there, that is fibroblasts, macrophages and mast cell. This is the structure of what we can say, rough structure of the areolar tissue, okay. Now let me explain this structure first. So as I told you, this tissue is also least specialized, having very few fibers and more of cells. That is the first point. And this is a very widely distributed connective tissue. See, that means throughout the vertebrate body, all right, throughout, that means in every part of the body, all right, we can find this type of areolar tissue. That's the first point you need to remember. The second point, let me tell you, this is generally referred to as packing tissue. We also refer this tissue as packing tissue, all right, because it occurs between the body tissues, adjacent body tissues it occurs, or it can occur, okay, in the external covering of blood vessels, all right. The blood vessels outer covering, external covering, we can find this type of connective tissues, and also they can be present in the nerves as well as they can be present in the muscles, all right. So it is also present generally beneath the skin and in digestive, respiratory and urinary tracts. See, urinary tracts, digestive tracts and as well as respiratory tracts, all right. In these regions and beneath the skin as well we can find this type of areolar tissue. Now let me tell you, dear students, first point is that generally we can find this tissue throughout the body, all right. It is called as packing tissue because it is found between the adjacent tissues. It is present in the packing the walls of the blood vessels. It is also present in the nerves, muscles, urinary tract, digestive tract, respiratory tract, and also beneath the skin. So that's why you use the word throughout the body. Alright. So this is about few general aspects. Now as I had shown you the structure, now let me tell few important structural aspects of areolar tissue. See, areolar connective tissue is a loose connective tissue, right? Okay. So generally this tissue is transparent, alright, and it can be gel-like, alright, and that's what gelatinous we can say, because it is made up of what I can say, sticky matrix, right? It is made up of sticky matrix. So this sticky matrix in fact has many substances. So what are the substances which we can find in the sticky matrix, gelatinous matrix, transparent matrix? Let us discuss. We can find mucin in the matrix of this areolar connective tissue, which I have already shown you. Say if this is the tissue, alright, now all this completely, this is the matrix, alright, this is the matrix. So in the matrix, as I had shown you before, they have different fibers, yellow fibers, alright, this is a white, let us say white fiber, then they have yellow fibers, then different types of cells, right? So it is all present in the matrix. So matrix is composed of mucin, then secondly hyaluronic acid, alright, then it also has chondroitin sulfates. Alright, dear students, okay, let me repeat. The areolar connective tissues matrix is made up of mucin, hyaluronic acid, and chondroitin sulfates. Alright. Further, let me tell you that the variety of cells which are present here, already I have told you there are different types of cells. Okay. So that is, we have here macrophages, mast cells, alright, and few even fat cells are also present. See, I did not represent that fat cells, but they have certain fat cells in them. Okay, like this, they have fat cells inside the matrix as well. Those are called adipocytes. Alright. To go with adipocytes, I had told you they have different cells, like they have, this is macrophage, alright. Then fibroblasts are present, alright. Then we also find mast cells, alright. We have mast cells, okay. So like this, different types of cells are present. Okay, let us discuss about them. Coming to the first, let us discuss about the first type of cell, that is fibroblasts, or it can also be called as fibrocytes. Alright. So these fibroblasts are most common cells which can be present in areolar tissue. These are the commonly present cells. We can say these are the most common type of cells which can be present in the areolar matrix. So now, see what is their function. Depending on the location where they are found actually in the body, their functions differs. Okay. So their functions is that they help in secretion of extracellular matrix. Generally, they secrete the extracellular matrix. This is one of the important function of the fibroblasts which we can consider, alright, and it performs an important role in wound healing. If there is any injury, alright, so there it helps in wound healing, alright. So let me tell you how. Okay, so generally they are present, these fibroblasts are present in the inactive form. This inactive form is itself, alright, the fibroblasts, alright, and they later forms active fibers. Fibroblasts are present in inactive form, they turn into, alright, active forms forming fibers. So these fibers block the the injured site. They form the mesh, or they form the fiber like structure there, and does not leave the blood to ooze out continuously. So that's where I said that these fibroblasts are important for wound healing. Dear students, the second type of cells we have is macrophages. All right, macrophages you can say, or you can also say it as histocytes, or histiocytes rather. All right, so this is the second type of cells which we can find. So macrophages, the word itself says macro means large, phage means it undergoes phagocytosis, that means it engulfs, it eats. All right, they are very big cells which we can find. They are big or very large cells which we can find in the matrix of areolar tissue. They have a oval nucleus. They have a oval nucleus, and they help in phagocytosis. What do we mean by phagocytosis? To eat or to engulf. All right, so what it engulfs? It can either engulf the damaged or dead cells, or any other bacteria if it has entered the cell, or any other foreign particles. All right, so it's a very big cell. So we can say that it helps in defense. So it has defensive function. So this is about the second type, that is macrophage. The next type of cell we have in the areolar matrix, as I had shown you before in the diagram, is mast cell. All right, or mastocytes also you can refer these cells to as mastocytes. All right, so here these mast cells are also large cells. All right, they don't have oval nucleus as we found with respect to macrophages, but they have spherical nucleus. They have spherical nucleus. All right, dear students. Okay, and they have certain grains in the cytoplasm. So their cytoplasm is granular. Because of the presence of grain like structures in the cytoplasm is granular. Now, what is the role of this in fact mast cells? They help in production of different substances, especially three important substances they help in the production of, that is heparin. All right, the second one is we have histamine. All right, and then we have serotonin. These are the three components which are secreted from the mast cells. All right, so heparin, it is anticoagulant. It helps in clotting of blood. It helps in clotting of blood, heparin, that is. Then we have histamine and serotonin. They are released during allergy. Okay, when in allergy they are produced from the mast cells. So in fact they also perform very important role as defense, in a defense of the body. All right, so these are the three important components produced from the mast cells. Then fourthly we also have plasma cells. See, plasma cells help in the formation or synthesis of the protective proteins in our body called antibodies. All right, and these cells generally have very small nucleus. All right, fine. So this is about the plasma cells. And then one more cell I had told you, that is adipocytes, or you can also say it as the fat cells. Fat cells or adipocytes is the fifth important type of cell which we can find in the matrix of the areolar tissue. Okay, so these consist of, as adipocyte, the name itself says, okay, they consist of fat cells. All right, which are made up of, which form, all right, or they contain lipid droplets in them. All right, lipid droplets they contain in them. All right, children, so this you need to remember. Okay, so these liquid droplets occupy the cytoplasm of these fat cells. All right, So these are few important aspects we need to find, and to go with that, even certain other cells also in very low amounts we can find, that is chromato. All right, that is we have the specialized cells, but very rarely we found here, that is chromatophores. All right, so they are called as pigment cells. All right, so these chromatophores are the pigment cells. Okay, they give color, all right, to the skin and the eye, because they are packed with a pigment called melanin granules are present, or melanin is present in these cells, which gives color to the skin, or to the what we can say, the eye. All right, so these are the different types, few of the important types of cells which we can find in the matrix of areolar tissue. Dear students, moving on further, let us discuss the functions of areolar tissue. So we came to know that areolar tissue is a loose connective tissue, so which can be found throughout the body, made up of different fibers and various cells. We also studied their roles. All right, now general functions. Okay, overall functions let us discuss. See, firstly let me tell you, the areolar tissue is called as binding tissue. All right, why it is called as binding tissue? Because it helps in binding the skin with muscles. All right, binding of skin with muscles. All right, we need what? Areolar tissue. All right, and also in many organs. All right, and also in many organs connections, we find the areolar tissue. So because it helps in binding of tissues and organs, it is called as what? Binding tissue. Okay, then the second function we have here is that, as I said, it helps in covering the blood vessels. It covers the blood vessels. All right, fine, this is one, and also it covers the nerves. All right, so this is the second important aspect. Okay, so where it covers exactly, let me tell you, where the nerves or the blood vessels enter or leave organs, there it covers. All right, so that's the aspect you need to remember. If blood vessels, if they are entering to certain part, at the entry point the areolar tissue is present, or nerves if they are entering into some part of the body, so at that entry point as well as in the exit points we have the areolar tissue. Okay, then third function is that it forms the dermis of the skin. Dermis of skin. All right, that is the outer layer of skin. It helps in its formation. All right, fourthly, it helps in holding the body fluids. So it helps to hold the body fluids. All right, this is also an important function, dear students. Fifthly, let me tell you, dear students, that it helps in fighting against infection. It fights against the infection. All right, that means I already told you, they have so many different types of cells. All right, like macrophages, okay, which can fight or it can produce antibodies. Okay, so which can fight against the bacteria, virus, or any other type of foreign substance called antigen, okay, in our body. Then the fifth function, dear students, the sixth function we have here is, it helps in the storage of nutrients. All right, so nutrients can be stored in the areolar connective tissues. All right, especially, okay, let me tell you that fat is stored in the adipocytes. Correct, so we have discussed about the fat cells or adipocytes, where the fats are stored. All right, then furthermore I said they also help in healing of wounds. Right, healing of wounds also they help us in. Okay, then let us move with the next one. For example, let me say the heparin which is present in these tissues help in blood clotting during injury. Okay, so these are all what we can say. Not only these children, even fibroblasts which are there will help in the healing of wounds, and also blood clotting is performed by heparin. Blood clotting is also necessary during injuries, okay, or wounds. Next, see, let me say that it is also important to provide nutrition to other tissues. It provides nutrition for the development of other tissues. Okay, so these are the few important functions of what I can tell you, the areolar connective tissue, which is the first type of loose connective tissue. Dear students, so we have completed with the first type of loose connective tissue, that is areolar tissue. So second type of loose connective tissue which we are going to discuss now is the adipose tissue. Alright, now let me tell you, dear students, that adipose tissue, alright, is dominated by fat cells. Many fat cells are present here. See, fat cells were also present in areolar tissue, but very few here. Majorly, alright, most of the matrix of these adipose tissues is formed of fat cells, or we can also call them to as adipocytes. Alright, so remember this, dear students. See, adipocytes are very widely distributed in the matrix of this tissue, right? And we can find this adipose tissue in various organs, alright, in various organs, and also found beneath the skin. So that's their location. Let me tell you that in mammals we can find generally beneath the skin. Adipose tissue is present where? Beneath the skin or below the skin. We can find it in case of the mammals, alright. And also around certain organs, around the organs, like for example, if we have pumping organ called heart, so we can find around the heart, as well as around the kidneys we can find, that is the excretory organs, and also around the eyeballs, alright, we can find, to go with that, palms of the hands and soles of the feet, alright, we can find some of the regions. These are some of the major regions where we can find the adipose tissue. Majorly we can find beneath the skin. Other than that, we can also find in few more regions like heart, kidneys, eyeballs, palms and soles. So this is their location. Now let me also tell you that, see, it helps, alright, or it forms rather the yellow bone marrow, alright. Generally the major types of bone marrow are yellow and red bone marrow, so it forms the yellow bone marrow, alright. So that we need to remember, dear students. It helps in the formation of the yellow bone marrow, alright. And also we can find these adipose tissues in different animals, okay, in different body layers, okay. Say for example, most prominent example we can give is about the largest mammals, okay, that is whales, where we can find blubber. So what is blubber here? It is a thick layer, it is a very thick layer of adipose tissue, alright, adipose tissue, which occurs beneath the skin of whales, alright. So which gives insulation to the body and also protects against so many other shocks and other aspects, okay. So that's also one of the location which we can find in whales, right. Then the camel's hump, alright. So camel's hump is very much or highly composed of adipose tissue, dear students. All right. So now let me tell you where this adipose tissue is very much concentrated. See, this is concentrated or found in very high amounts in our body in the abdomen. All right, and in the buttocks we can find. To go with that, it is also highly deposited in the thighs. All right, and also we can find it in the covering of the breasts or mammary glands. All right, so highly deposited in the abdominal region, in the buttocks, thighs and breasts. All right, so these aspects what we discussed till now are the general introductory aspects about the adipose tissue. Dear students, now let us understand the structure of adipose tissue. Here, see, the structure looks as such. Okay. We can find various types of cells here. Okay. All right. So please look at the structure. Okay. You know, in the matrix of the adipose tissue, majorly as I said you, we can find more of adipocytes. All right, or the fat cells. Here, this is the matrix. Okay, fine. Then we have here, these are white fibers, fine white fibers can be seen here. And to go with that, yellow fibers as well can be seen. All right. Then further, the most important aspect, see, now what we can say, this is empty fat cell. This is empty fat cell. All right. Then further, okay, this what you can find here. All right, the dark region inside the cell, this is called fat globule. What do we call this as? Fat globule. All right, dear students. Okay, so anyway, so this is the fat cell. Actual fat cell will have inside it the fat globule. All right, so we can find the white fibers, yellow fibers and fat cells which have fat globules, or we can also find without fat globule if it is present, the fat cells are called empty fat cells. All right, so all these can be present in the matrix of this adipose tissue. Okay, so here other than this we can also find, say, the blood vessels will be there. Okay, so we can also find here blood vessels, connective tissue, other connective tissues which are connected to this. Okay, so this is the structure of the adipose tissue. Now let us understand few aspects about this structure. Okay, see here the large oval fat cells which were present. All right, the large oval fat cells which were present are called as adipocytes. All right, which I already told you. Okay, so how the fat cell develops? It develops from the small fat droplets. All right, initially from the small fat droplets it starts to develop, and later these fat droplets form a very big large fat globule and further giving rise to, all right, the cell. So smaller fat globules will give rise to large fat globule and further giving rise to cell. Okay, so that you need to remember, dear friends. Okay, now furthermore, let me tell you that we also have the matrix. Okay, here the matrix of especially the adipocytes also contains many different cells here, but very few. Okay, see these cells we can also find here, that is fibroblasts, all right, macrophages, which we already found and discussed with respect to areolar tissue, but they are present here but in very less quantities when compared to the areolar tissue. We can also find the mast cells, all right. To go with that, white fibers and yellow fibers can also be seen here. Okay, see the fibers generally here cannot be distinguished, cannot be seen clearly, so we can say rather as these fibers are indistinguishable. That means they are not clearly seen, all right. So fine, now to go with that, see a fat cell I had shown you. Let us say this is the fat cell. I had represented like this, all right, the fat globules which inside it, all right. So that means to say what, or I had represented as such, having a big fat globule, right, single fat globule. So here, if large fat globule, all right, is present, it is generally monocular. What is this? Monocular. Large fat globule, single, it can be present, so it is called monocular. So this is one. Next, or we can find many fat droplets, small fat droplets. Okay, these are called as polyocular, all right. So these are the two different types of the fat globules which we can find with respect to the adipose tissue. So dear students, let us now discuss few major functions of adipose tissue, all right. So firstly, let me tell you that this adipose tissue primarily helps in to reserve the food, all right. So it helps in reservation of food, all right. That means it has the ability to enable the animal to sustain the body during starvation. Now there is nothing to eat, the body needs energy, but still the animals survive, the humans survive. Why? Because already there is a reserved food material. Now for example, adipose tissues are present beneath the skin, so they get converted into carbohydrates and provide energy to sustain the body, all right. That's the first function. So that means they help in starvation. So the second function is that it helps in shock absorption. So it acts as shock absorber, all right. Where, so as I told you that they are present outside, covering of heart, kidneys, like also we can find in eyeballs, as I had told you before. So what is their function now? They help in absorption of shock, all right. So this is the second function of the adipose tissues. Then let me move to the next function, that is it prevents the loss of heat from the body, prevents the loss of heat from the body, dear students, all right. So it helps to maintain the constant body temperature, which we generally refer to as homeothermy, all right, or it helps to maintain the homeothermic condition of the body. To go with that, one more important function of this adipose tissue is that it gives, all right, shape to the body, all right. It gives shape to the body, all right. So these are the important functions of the adipose tissue which we need to consider.